Hey friends, Sean from SGT Report here with a very important interview. We are under attack. I want to let you know that my last video called UFOs, YouTube, and the Alien Deception only has about 60,000 views, and typically those types of microdocs that I produce do at least double or triple that view count. So I know many of you didn't see that video, so I want to call your attention to it because I start that video off with a quote from Galatians 4:16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? That's a message I'm sending out to YouTube, who evidently thinks I'm an enemy because I cover things like liberty, the Constitution, the Second Amendment, the evils of abortion on demand in the 9th month. So do check out that video, UFOs, YouTube, and the Alien Deception. It is, of course, linked at the very top of my website, sgtreport.com. My friend Bart Sabrell, the producer director behind the film A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, called me today, and he wanted to let me know he had just written an article, which I have since posted. It's also at the top of sgtreport.com. And the name of the article is, Are There Really Aliens from Outer Space? I suggest you all read it. And it's very much related to my video, UFOs, YouTube, and the Alien Deception. And Bart begins his article with 1 Timothy 4:1. God's Spirit clearly says that in the last days, some will abandon the truth and follow lying demons. And that seems to be a pretty good description of our current state of affairs. And I really want to thank my sponsors and my patrons because you guys are helping keep me in the game, as the numbers in that last video I made show. So I want to give a special shout out and a thanks to today's sponsor, the Patriot Flashlight. This survival tactical flashlight is solar powered, and it will light up the night with 500 lumens that can be seen miles away. There's a life-saving emergency strobe along with 4 more unique lighting modes, and the Patriot Flashlight even has a USB port which allows you to charge your cell phone anywhere. Your Patriot Tactical Flashlight is also equipped with a compass, wire and rope cutter, and an emergency glass-breaking hammer. It's the perfect gift for you and your family. The limited supply of these tactical flashlights is quickly running out, so get yours at a discount before they sell out. Use promo code SGT25 for 25% off, and purchase the best flashlight on the market at patriotflashlight.com. I'll leave the link below this video. And now, let's get to the main event. Thank you so very much for tuning in. It's wonderful to have you back, at least those of you who are able to find my channel. They have done a number on my channel, and I'll show you the numbers in a minute, but it goes far deeper than that, and it's not just me. They're coming for everybody. If you tell the truth, trust me, they're coming for you too. I have Bix Weir on right now to talk about all of it because he knows what's up. Bix, welcome back.
Hey, Sean, thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for coming on. I saw your video about YouTube and what they did to you. You posted a video with the words truth and justice, I believe, or truth and liberty, or justice and liberty, or whatever the combination was, and you immediately were demonetized, just like I have been for the entire month of February. 9 of my 11 last videos have been immediately deemed not suitable for most advertisers, Bix. They're trying to starve us out, but then I'll take it beyond that. They're trying to put us on islands in the middle of the ocean where no one can find us. YouTube is a fascist organization at this point, aren't they?
Well, absolutely. And, you know, it's not only the stuff that you can see, it's the shadow banning, and they're knocking your views down, your subscribers down. And then the more you dive into YouTube itself, you see that it's absolutely part of the U.S. government and a deep state operation and the bad guys of the deep state. So, yeah, it's part of the overall battle, good guys and bad guys. So, you know, we're doing the right thing. Just keep trudging along.
Well, here's the problem, though, Bix. And if we don't get the president or Congress, of course, Congress won't step in. They're on the side of YouTube and Google. They're all hardcore leftists, and they don't want the truth to be told. But if we don't get governmental regulation over these social media giants, they're going to do to us exactly what they've done to Alex Jones. They are going to deplatform us. Look at my numbers over the past 28 days. My subscriber count, I added 9,000 subscribers over the last 28 days. I'm very grateful. But in November and December, I was averaging 30 to 35,000 new subs each month. So my adding subs count is down 68%, while my watch time is down 45%. The view count is down 45%, and the revenue is down 53%. These guys are changing the algorithms so that our content is not recommended and therefore cannot be found, Bix. And so literally, they are going to put us out in the ocean on little tiny islands that no one can find, because that's what the search algorithms are designed to find the content you want to watch, the content you want to search for. Let me show you an example, Bix. Let's go to YouTube right here, and we'll just type in, last night I was trying to find some videos about 9/11. So we'll type in 9/11. And we have 60 Minutes, CNN, The Telegraph, CNN, all right. So what other, here, give me another topic. How about vaccines? Type in vaccines. John Hopkins, Children's Hospital, Philadelphia, Last Week Tonight, Minute Earth, SciShow, TEDx, Fox News, Bloomberg. So how about you toss out a topic? What else should we look for? What was I looking for last night when I was doing that video?
Do Trump.
Trump.
Right? It should be like,
CBS.
This is the president of the United States. Instead, they jump up CNN, CBS. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's right. And last night I was trying to do a little bit of research to show in my video. Let's type in NASA. What comes up for NASA? Of course, all of the typical results. How about NASA moon landing?
Oh, careful.
Hoax. Yeah, Discovery UK. Was the moon landing faked? Mythbusters. IGN, CNET, Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum, Discovery UK. So here's my point, Bix. They are literally changing the algorithms to prevent people from getting any of the videos they want to watch. Therefore, they're changing YouTube. They're destroying the ingredients that made YouTube great.
I agree. I wouldn't. Here's the delicate tightrope we walk, is that by saying, we want the government to come in and fix it, make it more open, stop the criminality of what they're doing. Problem is, YouTube will say, yeah, we're banning all the bad things. Now they're the deciders. They're the ultimate deciders of what's good and bad and what you can listen to. On one side, I think, well, it's not a government company. It hasn't been deemed a monopoly. But that's the thing. It is a government company. It is the seed money for Google and YouTube and Facebook was all funded by the government. And that's been proven time and time again. So it is literally a government company. They use it to manipulate people and things. And so I would say, yes, it is a government company. It should be openly honest with the people, as in no shadow banning. And if you're going to, defund people, you got to have a good reason, and you got to have proof and evidence that what you're saying is a conspiracy theory is not actually true. Otherwise, we're screwed. Otherwise, we're absolutely screwed, because no one will know. They said Enron was a conspiracy theory, and voila, it was absolutely 100%. So where does the line stop when YouTube gets to decide? And, I was of the opinion that, it's free market. They can do what they want. We can invent another YouTube site, but it's not free market. These guys are owned and controlled by the U.S. government. So, yeah, it's real scary.
Well, and there's no way to build a site. There's no other platform that can compete with YouTube. I mean, they're the 800-pound gorilla. There's no way. Mike Adams has tried.
Yeah.
BitChute is viable. And, of course, there's Steemit. There's all sorts of little reservations upon which we can upload our content. And I do, and I know that you do too, but people, the world is on YouTube, right? That's where people go. And now YouTube is becoming nothing more than cable television, where the main data pipes are given to the mainstream media giants like CNN. But what's funny, Bix? The mainstream media giants aren't giant on YouTube. That's why they have to cheat. That's why YouTube is now cheating and putting them front and center in the returns. Because I provide this example often. Mike Dice, 1.6 million subscribers. MSNBC, 1.5 million subscribers. See, they cannot have that. They can't allow that, because we were winning the information war in the public square on YouTube. So these people are so desperate, like BuzzFeed, demanding that YouTube change its algorithms to prevent conspiracy theories from coming up in the returns. And YouTube gladly obliges on January 22nd. So for anybody listening who thinks, oh, well, they're coming after SGT Report because he has 500,000 subscribers, so they won't come after me because I only have 75,000 or 150,000. You're wrong. They're coming after all of us. And that's the message I wanted to convey here.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, there was a court case that was just thrown out. It was a class action lawsuit against YouTube for copyright infringement. YouTube is absolutely infringing on everybody's copyrights. When we see a video that is not posted on our channel of us speaking, and not just little tidbits, but the whole video that has been reproduced, that is copyright infringement. And it is YouTube's responsibility, legal responsibility, to stop that. There's a class action lawsuit, multi-billion-dollar lawsuit that a judge threw out, not because there weren't any merits to the case, because it would be too hard to enforce because they have such a monopoly over YouTube video presentations. So there is these overlaps that are happening. YouTube, literally, it is illegal to publish other people's copywritten information without their approval. That's all YouTube does. And they say, well, it's not us posting, it's our consumers. And well, then if you're gonna allow it to be free and open, then allow it to be free and open for everything.
Yeah, that's right. I want to talk about a couple of things here too before I lose you here today. But let's stay over the target with YouTube. First of all, I can't believe that the Senate has failed to pass a Born Alive bill. Right? If the conservatives, the people that actually care about liberty, are supposedly in control of the Senate, how, by a vote of 53 to 44, has the Senate failed to pass the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, Bix? This is an outrage. By the way, once you're born into this world, don't you inherently have the rights of constitutional protections? And if they take your life after you've come out of the birth canal, if they take your life then, is that not murder? This is madness, Bix, and this is exactly why I guess we can't count on the Senate stepping up to help us in this battle that we have against these social media giants who want to deplatform us.
Absolutely. And then you go down the road of the invention of YouTube. The invention of YouTube, you hear the story, it was invented at a dinner party in 2005. Complete crock of crap. YouTube was invented by the deep state in 1999 by a guy named Mark Collins Rector. And you can find the patent number 6,188,398. Mark Collins Rector, the chairman of a company called DEN, Digital Entertainment Network, with Brock Pierce and Chad Shackley. You can still see the patent for YouTube. You can get it right in the patent office. Just Google that patent number, Mark Collins Rector, and you're going to see exactly where YouTube came from. This is a guy who was arrested for pedophilia, arrested in Spain with Brock Pierce and Chad Shackley. They had 8,000 child porn pictures on their computer hard drives. And this is in 2001. Back then, you couldn't get a child porn picture unless you took it yourself. So these guys were not dealing in internet gaming stuff like they claimed they were. They were dealing in child porn. And that's kind of the beginnings of the deep state involvement. And then it gets to Steve Bannon ended up buying that company out and running it with Goldman Sachs. And literally Goldman Sachs was running a child porn site. And it's insane that these deep state actors get away with all this shit because we're having to deal with this. And you can't see it on the surface. You think, YouTube's so fun, and you get to watch cat videos. It is deeper. It is darker than anybody knows.
Yeah, I brought up the Wikipedia page here for Collins Rector. It says he fought extradition proceedings for 2 years before returning to the U.S., where he pleaded guilty to 8 charges of child enticement and registered as a sex offender. He admitted luring 5 minors across state lines for sexual purposes. He received credit for time that he had served in a Spanish jail and was registered as a sex offender under a weekly supervision. How is it? So the pornography charge...
He basically got away.
The child pornography charge should have landed him in jail for at least a decade.
Well, you're in jail for, if you have 3 pictures of child porn, you're in jail for, I think it's 5 years. This guy had 8,000 along. How did Brock Pierce get out of that? And these are the same guys who ran DEN back in the 90s, which was a child porn operation on the internet, one of the first ones back in the 1990s. So how'd they get away with it? They are deep state, knee-deep in Jeffrey Epstein stuff. They're all involved with Epstein and the Clinton Foundation.
It says, running DEN out of a L.A. mansion, Collins Rector and his business partner, Chad Shackley, was also Rector's romantic partner, and Brock Pierce hosted lavish parties attended by Hollywood's gay A-list. Which directors come to mind there? Which Hollywood gay directors come to mind there,
You
folks?
name it. You take your pick.
Yeah, Bryan Singer. It was at those parties Collins Rector and others allegedly sexually assaulted teenage boys. So this is what we're up against. It never ends. And we're told that telling the real news stories about pedophilia is a conspiracy theory. Talking about pedogate is a conspiracy theory. Talking about 9/11 off limits. By the way, in my last video that I just posted, guys, down below, I think this is interesting. They're listening to us. Their algos are listening to the videos we post because immediately, right under my video, it says September 11th attacks with an Encyclopedia Britannica information war piece trying to debunk my brief mention of 9/11 in the video. This wasn't even a 9/11 video. UFOs, YouTube, and the alien deception was about what Bix and I are talking about here. And I just briefly said 9/11's off limits. That's all I said about 9/11 because it is. YouTube doesn't want us talking about 9/11. And right there, you get the Encyclopedia Britannica mainstream media news version of what happened on 9/11, Bix. This is an absolute information war, and we were winning, but now we're losing because they're cheating.
This is 1984. We are living through that. The picture portrayed in that book is what we are living through right now. It's just the people are still dumbed down, and they get stupider and stupider because the media is changing very fast. And the only way out of this thing is, I think, for YouTube, we need to remove management. Find the crimes that they've committed, and there's dozens of serious crimes behind the scenes. I'm not even talking about YouTube banning. These guys are knee deep in the pedophilia rings in LA and in the Silicon Valley. We need to get rid of them through arresting them for their crimes and replacing management with some kind of management that would allow free speech. And because of the government involvement, I mean, government was involved in Google and YouTube through InQtel and SAIC and MDS, Sequoia Capital. These are all U.S. government-funded intelligence agencies' investments. And if we are going to spend our money investing in these things, they better be upfront, they better be open and honest, and these are not right now. So we do have a say. These are not entities that are held by the shareholders alone. It is my tax money that paid for the intelligence groups to go into these companies and infiltrate them.
I just want to bring focus back on the CEO of YouTube and say that Susan Wojcicki is, first of all, she submitted a February 2019 creator letter to all of us YouTube creators or producers. And then she has a video, which basically is reading the same letter. And it has 13,000 likes, Bix, and 93,000 dislikes. It's called Our Priorities This Year. And in her full letter to YouTube creators, she touts the milestone that channels with over 1 million subscribers nearly doubled over the last year. And she says, and I quote, "You're creating the next generation of media companies, and we're thrilled to see how much the YouTube creator economy is thriving." Okay. You're creating the next generation of media companies. That was true, and we were winning prior to the Algos change on January 22nd. Now they're cheating. And basically she's saying, but if we don't agree with your political views, or if your political views do not align with ours at YouTube and Google, we will destroy your media company. And that's the whole point of this video. I've shown the numbers. I know it's only going to get worse. I know that my numbers are only going to get worse, and I'll continue to document it. But I have to say, I feel for Alex Jones at this point because they came for him first, and not enough people spoke up because he's Alex Jones, right? He must have done something wrong. But now they're coming after we the people, the little guys as well. And I just don't know what to do about it, Bix. I guess we don't have much recourse. What are we going to do? A class action lawsuit against Google?
They just threw it out. I mean, literally, they threw it out because it's too big to handle. And it's, you got judges who are in the deep state's pocket. So, I think the best thing we can do is continue to expose this stuff. Hope that the people behind Trump are really, there are good guys back there working to take these criminals out. Not only hope, but do your part. Spread the word of freedom as best you can, even though they're going to ban that word from. They're going to call it advertising unfriendly. But yeah, we're doing the best we can, and the key is not to give up. Just keep it up, keep exposing them, get the community around you. For example, when they were going to ban your channel, you got the community around you and they got off your back. If we keep doing that, because there's more of us than there are of them. And if we keep doing what we're doing, we'll get there. You know, the worst thing is the shadow banning, but they're going to do what they're going to do. And all we can do is expose the criminality.
I want to point one other thing out here. I've got my screen share engaged here again. I accidentally paused it here previously, but I want to point this out. This is something I noticed that happened to me the other day, and it had never been so egregious before. Bix, you know how you used to be able to post a video and sometimes it would say no views, even though you had maybe 25 likes or whatever? And typically within 5 or 10 minutes, it would, you know, pop your actual view count up. Well, they fixed that, right? And so for the past year or two, you immediately saw your view count. Well, just the other day, this is what's begun again. And in my case, it was like 2 hours. It said no views, and I had 1.7 thousand likes. This is what's happening now. So I think they've changed, and it's just happening to certain channels. So for instance, here's one from Breitbart News, 46 minutes ago, no views. Here's one from Ben Swan. No views, 13 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago, the Fullerton Informer, no views. PewDiePie, 15 minutes ago, no views. So I swear to you, Bix, this has something to do with their algorithm change. I've seen this with Red Elephants today. I've seen it with a number of different channels. Let's go back to my, I'll just click on.
I had no views on my thing this morning for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And all these likes, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
No, I definitely think it has something to do with the algorithms. It may have something to do with preventing full monetization. In my case, I don't get monetization anymore. Like I said, 9 out of the last 11 videos and interviews deemed not suitable for most advertisers, to which you had a great question, Bix. Your question was, YouTube, what advertisers are you talking about? Oh, I see. Nestle and Disney, the big premier advertisers that had ads all over that basically
child porn,
pro-pedophilia porn stuff. Well, it wasn't porn. I mean, it was little kids, probably innocent kids in compromising positions, you know, sitting around in their underwear or whatever, that got uploaded by mom and dad, and they get stolen and re-uploaded and put on these platforms basically where the pedophiles hang out and all communicate to each other in the comments section, Bix.
And why isn't YouTube responsible for that? They're taking no responsibility at all for copyright infringement, for pedophilia stuff. They're just taking no responsibility. And if you're going to be this gigantic company who's trying to do the best for society, how come they're above the law on this stuff? Well, I know the answer, because they're deep state.
What hope do we hold out at this point, Bix, for a happy ending to our story? And I guess I'm just naive, but I firmly believed for a long time that we could take this thing back, because we have a Constitution, we have a Bill of Rights, we have a First Amendment. And then I firmly believed that things would actually improve when Trump got into the White House. And now I see that if President Trump isn't going to do anything about the deplatforming of Alex Jones, if he's not going to do anything about what they're now doing to the rest of the truth media, putting us out on islands where literally you can't find the island without the algorithm, if that's what they're going to do and they're going to get away with it, how in the world are we going to prevent the liberal, leftist, Marxist, communist, Democrat candidate from getting in the White House?
Well, I think...
or does it even matter at this point? Flip side of the same coin.
No, I definitely think there's good guys behind Trump. Trump's probably compromised, but it doesn't matter. The good guys behind him are taking care of things slowly but surely, way too slowly for my own good. But truthfully, I think the left, the craziness of the left with this Green Deal and all that, I think it's the best thing for America, because it will increase the collapse so much faster of the monetary system. And we can't go anywhere until we get rid of the monetary system. So, you know, in a strange way, I'm rooting for the crazies like Cortez to get into office and destroy our country faster than we have been destroying it for the last 100 years.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, though, Bix. We've talked about this time and time again. It's getting super scary and super ugly, though, when they cannot even stand up for a baby that's born alive. This is, I've said it time and time again, it's probably why I'm targeted. My wife believes that this is now happening. I've become a target from YouTube like never before. Once I started talking about the abortion issue, I had Dr. B on, who was an atheist, a pathologist. She was faced with the horrors of abortion as a pathologist, getting buckets of baby parts delivered to her for her pathology duties. It broke her spirit. She cried. She did little funerals for these little aborted babies and apologized to them that they live in a world so evil. And after that video, bad things started happening to my YouTube channel. And my wife thinks it's because I'm going there on the abortion issue. But if we don't stand up for the little ones, Bix, we don't stand up for the unborn, or in this case, the born, the children that survive abortions, who are we? What kind of species are we that first would do that to babies and second wouldn't stand up for them? I don't know. I just can't believe how severe the spiritual warfare is, and that's what it is, Biggs.
You do know, and you're doing an amazing job at exposing what they don't want to expose. It's been going on for a hell of a long time. And believe it or not, it's getting better than it was. We just didn't know about it back then. It wasn't exposed. And the more exposure we have of this, of the pedophilia stuff, of the rigging of the financial markets, the more exposure we have out there, the harder it is for them to just, walk through life, so to speak, and do what they want to do. In the past, that's all we've been subjected to. It's been going on a lot worse than it is today. But now that the exposure is coming, now that you're speaking out, I'm speaking out, everybody that who has a voice is speaking out against this. That's what's going to stop it. If you're looking for what's going to stop it, it's speaking out. And yes, they're going to fight and probably cut us off YouTube altogether, but it's not going to stop us from talking about it. It's not going to stop us from spreading the word. And as people get taken off YouTube, more and more people will flock to the next YouTube. There's talk that even Trump is going to set some government video type YouTube thing up in competition with what's going on. I think that's great because YouTube's definitely owned by the deep state, and we need the good guys to set up their own YouTube channel that you can speak freely at and talk about things we care about, like the Constitution, like ending child trafficking, pornography, the child porn and all that stuff. Absolutely. You're doing the right thing, and just keep it up. I know it's frustrating and tiring and financially brutal on anybody in YouTube, but the world needs it. And sometimes you got to answer that call.
Well, I want to thank my patrons just like never before. Honestly, you guys, this to me is worse than the YouTube adpocalypse that happened a year ago, because for me, it appears there's no end in sight. So at least for the adpocalypse, everybody was in the same boat, but now they're selectively targeting truth channels for destruction. The numbers are clear. There's only 28 days of data. I'll certainly tell you the story over the next 28 days, and we'll keep tracking it. But please, so you don't miss any of my videos, go to my Patreon page or go to sgtreport.com, where I always have the last 3 videos I've produced sticky posted at the top. You don't need YouTube to find my content if people would just go to sgtreport.com or Patreon. And the last thing I want to do is I want to read this post from Q. Actually, it was from Anonymous, and then Q's response. And Anonymous says, if a baby is born alive, doesn't she have automatic entitlement as a human being to life-saving measures? If a baby is born alive, isn't it murder to kill him or her? Why was this bill ever needed? Doctors, don't doctors take the Hippocratic Oath to save lives? By the way, Bix, Dr. B told me they don't take the Hippocratic Oath anymore. They've taken that out of the medical schools, the Western medical schools. Do you believe that? And Q's response is, POTUS is currently evaluating legal options like an executive order. Watch the news. How can anyone support such evil? And that brings us back to where we began, Bix, with the National Review. In this article, I'm astounded by this. The Senate fails to pass the Born Alive bill by a vote of 53 to 44. Bix, who controls the Senate?
That would be Republicans.
How do you explain this? It's just astounding to me. It's just astounding to me that these are the times in which we live.
The battles are coming out into the open. The times were there, they were just hidden. Now they're coming out in the open, which is a good thing. So as dark as it seems, you need to know that this crap was going on. It just wasn't talked about. And now we're talking about it, now we're exposing it, and this is good.
All righty, Bix. Well, I guess fair warning, folks. If you think they're not coming for you, if you think that you're safe because you have a YouTube channel that's little, they're coming for you if you're a Christian, And eventually, Bix, I think these people are so evil, they're coming for Christians next, because Christianity is what stands between this and their Luciferian satanic worldview, which Harley Schlanger and I talked about recently. And of course, that was deemed not suitable for most advertisers because it was a conversation about politics and spirituality, which YouTube doesn't care for. Again, if you don't have YouTube's worldview, you will be deplatformed, demonetized, and your channel will be targeted for destruction. I hate to tell you the truth, folks. I hate to tell you, I think that's exactly what's happening here, and the numbers speak for themselves. Bix, I really appreciate your time, man. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thank you, Sean. It's always great to talk to you.
Always great to talk with you. And tell people how they can find your YouTube channel.
For now, it's Road to Ruta, at Road to Ruta, but also I have a channel that is being kind of demonetized as well, which is my webpage, roadtoruta.com. I got a whole bunch of music that they don't want the world to hear there now about cryptocurrencies. So that's going to be my focus going forward.
All right. Well, very good. Our guest has been Bix Weir. The YouTube channel is Road to Ruta. You can find his work also at roadtoruta.com. Bix, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, Sean.
All right. God bless. And guys, thank you so very much for tuning in. Very much appreciate it, especially my patrons. You're really keeping us in the game as YouTube does target this channel for destruction, and very much appreciate your support. So for real news 24/7, and so you never miss one of my videos, please visit sgtreport.com 24/7. God bless. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
When you use Google, do you get more than one answer? Of course you do.
Yeah, of course.
Well, that's a bug. We have more bugs per second in the world. Because we should be able to give you the right answer just once.